Okay, so today what we're doing is solving x squared equations. Solving x squared equations, and because it's an x squared, there will always be two answers. Always two answers, okay? Even with the i's, okay? Which we'll talk about that next week. Okay, so right off the bat, number one. So there's two ways to show it, okay? One, the easy way, is we're just going to square root square, okay? But I want to prove real quickly why there are two answers. Don't write this down. What I'm going to put, don't write this down. But you could feasibly bring the 25 over and go x squared minus 25 equals 0. And you could factor this. X plus 5, x minus 5. Okay, you don't have to write this down, just watch. Okay, right degree, bring it over. Positive 5 times negative 25 times negative 5 makes a negative 25. It will factor. And with many equations, you get x equals negative 5 and x equals positive 5, right? But that's doing it the hard way, because really, if we see an x squared, to solve an equation, you always do the opposite, right? So I'm going to square root both sides. I'm going to square root, okay? So if I square root both sides, so I take the square root. Square roots and squares are going to cancel each other out. So you get x equals square root and squares. That's why you take the square root, because the square root is the opposite. The square root is the opposite of an x squared. By doing that, it undoes it. Because whenever you do an equation, to solve it, you do the opposite, right? So square root of 25 is 5, but there has to be two answers, right?
So negative 5.
So also negative 5.
Can't you just get that entire process and go like, oh, 25?
Yeah.
Square root of 25 is 5. Oh,
Yep.
negative 5. Okay, we're done.
Yep. And the third way to do it, totally correct, is just do it in your head, right? We know 5 times 5 and negative 5 times 5. Or, and I like this, x is equal to plus or minus 5. That's my way to write it. I like this way. Shows both, kind of nice condensed form, okay? Super easy. And I agree with Max. Max said, well, gosh, Mr. Davies, I don't even need to solve this because I know that 5 times 5, and I know negative 5 times negative 5, right? Okay, pretty agreed? Okay, now, number 2, let's just solve it. So we'll go plus 49, okay? I've got a 4x squared equals 49, okay?
So really that 4x just doesn't matter.
It does.
Or the 4.
Okay, how am I doing?
Divide by
Girls?
4.
Divide by 4. Divide by 4. Jacob, why don't you sit back there with Caden? Thank you. So I get x squared equals 49 over 4, right?
4 points.
Yeah, square root. And I'm just going to call it 7 over 2, right? 7x equals 7 over 2, but it also has a negative 7 over 2, so we get both answers. Okay.
Where does the negative 7 come from?
Great question. So you ready? Negative 7 times negative 7.
Negative 49.
Positive 49.
Oh, okay.
That's why it has two answers. Because the negative squared will also give you an answer.
So do you just add the negative to get another answer?
Like I did on this one right here. Right? Okay, number 3. You ready for 3? So, number 3, we're going to go plus 54. 2x squared equals 54, right?
Then divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
27.
I got x squared equals 27, right? Now, I'm going to square root it. So square root and square root. Now, 27. Let's see, I can break 27 down, can't I?
9 and 3.
Right? You guys agree with Isaac? So I'm going to go square root of 9, square root of 3, which is 3 square root of 3. And there's two answers, right? And negative 3 square root of 3. So it's both.
Positive, negative.
I like that so much better. I like plus or minus this. I like this answer so much better. But it is, you can see both answers. And then, again, R2 and Y, there's both answers because we know negative 9 times negative 9 or negative 3 times negative 3. Okay, they both work because a negative times a negative is a positive, right? Yeah, Max?
When writing positive negative 3, does it matter which symbol is on top?
You know, it doesn't, but normally almost I wouldn't even say almost every single math book puts a plus on top.
Okay.
It wouldn't matter, but no, on occasion I've seen it the other way with formulas, okay? But yeah, it wouldn't matter, okay? How's that? Okay, example 4. Okay, so minus 25 minus 25. So I've got a 4x squared equals a negative 25, right? Divide by 4. Divide by 4. I've got x squared equals negative 25 over 4. Now here's the problem. Okay, can I borrow your calculator, please? Yeah, thank you. That's even, you're way ahead of me.
It's a non-real answer.
Square root, square root. Okay, so Isaac did it. Let me show you real quickly. So if I took the square root of a negative 25 divided by 4, okay? Get an error. Non-real, okay? So you can't, for now, for this week, we can't take square roots of negative numbers, okay? For this week. Next week, we're going to talk about how we can, but it's non-real. It's not a real number, so we're going to say, nope, can't do it,
So
okay?
what it'd be if
So it's nothing, no answer, no solution. So we're going to say no solution. For now, for today, for this week, okay? Later on, we're going to learn about a thing called imaginary numbers, okay?
So technically, if it's a positive equals 0, whatever it is, it's just a non-solution
Right,
until next week.
right, till next week. Yep. Okay, example 5. Okay, let's do 5, okay? So same thing, we'll go plus 1, right? I'll have a 9x squared equals 1. Divide by 9. Now I'm not going to use a calculator. I'm just going to leave it as 1/9. I like 1/9 because I can see that I can take the square roots of both those, right? So I'll leave it as 1/9. So I've got x squared equals 1/9, right? And if I square root both sides, because the square root cancels square, right? So I'm going to get 1. Can you see the 1/3? Everybody see the 1/3? But plus or minus 1/3 because we have to have two answers, right? You guys see the two answers? 1/3, negative 1/3, okay? Good. Okay, number, am I going too fast or am I okay? Okay, 6. You can tell it's track season, huh? My phone's going off crazy, huh? Plus 1, 3x squared equals 75, yes. Okay, right?
so really
Divide by 3, divide by 3. How am I doing, okay?
25,
Yep. X squared equals 25.
and then plus minus.
Square root, because square root cancels the square, right? Square root cancels square. Two answers, right? Two
plus or
answers.
minus 5.
Plus or minus 5, because that is two answers, okay? Now those are the easy ones. Okay? We turn the back. I don't think the back's hard. We just have to be careful, that's all.
Squared minus
Okay, we turn the page.
plus
Hi, Landon. Turn the page.
plus 16.
Okay, now, example 8. There's still going to be two answers. Watch carefully, okay? If I square root first, okay, everybody watch this. Let Nina see this, Landon. She's got to see this. Square root, okay? The square cancels square. You guys agree? So all I'm left with is an x minus 4, okay? The square root cancels square, okay? But over here, it equals 9, but it's plus or minus 9, right? Gotta have both. Now we need two answers, right? Two answers.
Wouldn't you add 4?
Yes, but hold on to that thought. So to get two answers, we need two equations. And I'm going to show you where they are. So this is not hard, but my two equations are going to be this.
Wouldn't you
X minus 4 equals 9, and x minus 4 equals negative 9, because I've got the plus or minus 9. So I've got an x minus 4 equals plus 9, and x minus 4 equals a negative 9. See that? X minus 4 equals 9, x minus 4 equals negative 9. Got that, Landon? I'm teaching. Plus 4, because now just solve. Solve this first equation. Plus 4, x equals 13.
Hi, how are you? Okay, but I just use my test and I kinda wanna just like.
Don't bother my students. Okay, plus 4, x equals negative 5. Okay, these are a little bit harder, but I still went to Square root, because I got to get rid of the square root, right? Square root of 81, two answers, right? Two answers, plus or minus negative 9. So then, from here, x minus 4 equals a 9, and x minus 4 equals a negative 9. So I set that up,
No, that's not how that works.
and then just, it won't work that way because of, it's not, because you've got to get the 13 and the negative 5. See, it's different answers? Yeah, it's totally different answers, isn't it? Right? Okay, let's look at number 9, okay? Same kind of thing on number 9. So we're going to go, first, let's go ahead and simplify. Simplify as much as we can, right? Plus 27, plus 27. Okay, let's simplify as much as we can, okay? Got a 3 times an x plus 5 squared equals 27. Okay, all I did was plus 27 plus 27, right? That's all I did. Okay, bring this over. Plus 27 plus 27, okay? How about divide by 3? Don't distribute, just divide by 3. You can't do this because it's inside the square. So just divide by 3, cancels it, divide by 3. Am I doing okay?
So, x.
Divide by 3. I'm going to divide by 3.
So you square root it again. So
So I got x plus 5 squared, because I haven't done anything else except for divide by 3, equals 9. Okay, you with me on the 9?
well, if you're, don't you delete the squared
Not yet. How do I delete the square?
right now?
By
X
square
plus 5.
rooting it.
X plus
Like
5.
square rooting.
So I delete the square by square rooting. So if I square root, it deletes the square, right? Nice job. So if I square root here, because I got to, what I do to one side,
You gotta do the other.
right? So then
You get
the x plus 5 equals two answers, right? Two
positive or negative 3.
answers, right?
Positive or negative 3.
So
Good.
it'd be
So now, many equations, right? Many equations. So many equations. So I've got an x plus 5 equals a 3, and an x plus 5 equals a negative 3, right? So I've got my mini equations, right? I've got my two equations.
Wait, why?
Minus 5, and Amber, I'm going to answer your question in just a second. So I get x equals negative 2,
8 next. Or 8.
negative 8, right? Okay, now Amber,
Negative 8.
Amber, what's good?
let me scoot it up, okay? Autumn, forgive me, Autumn. So let me scoot it up for you, all the way up, okay? So think about this. Go back to this one, okay? Okay, real quickly, Autumn, what squared makes equal 9, right? Right, 9. So if this were 13,
But my question was, I was just gonna ask you why on like this backside, we were doing different answers and not just positive and negative, but then I realized that,
it's because of the number inside, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's the number inside, right?
So
Yeah.
when I was, yeah.
Okay, you all right then?
Yeah.
Good. And I'll try and call you Autumn.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Right. I know, I should know better. Okay, so you guys, what do you think? Next one, right? What do you think? So how do I get rid of the square? How do I get rid of the
Square root it.
square root it? Because it'll get rid of the square, right? Square root. So I've got the square and the square root, so I get an x plus 1, right? The square and the square root cancel each other. You're way ahead of me. Good job. That's totally correct. Totally correct. Plus or minus the square root of 18. Nice job, okay?
Which then breaks down to 3.
R2 was totally right, okay? So let's break it down, okay?
You can't do anything.
X plus 1 equals plus or minus 9 and 2 is totally right,
Break that down.
You can't do anything,
3
right?
and then just 2 squared.
right?
Square root.
X plus 1 equals, I'm going to get to it, yes, plus or minus 3 squared is 2. Now here's what Isaac's seeing, okay, right here.
You can't do anything.
Now watch. If I go minus 1, okay? These can be put together but not added.
Oh,
These can be put together. So if I have to solve for x, I got to get rid of the 1, right? If I have to solve for x, I got to get rid of the 1. So I subtracted 1, right? I got to subtract 1. So I got x equals, well,
Put it at the end.
or yeah. So I'm going to go plus or minus 3 square roots of 2 minus 1. Now, what kind of answer is this? Well, you really have two answers, okay? And I'm going to write it down. You really have x equals 3 square roots of 2 minus 1 is one answer. And the other answer is x equals negative 3 square roots of 2 minus 1. There's both of my answers. I really do get two answers, okay?
I did differently the first time.
Okay, these are a little bit different. You guys have never seen stuff like this before, have you? Brand new stuff, which is good. You learned something today. I like that. Okay,